Hey, in this video I'm gonna show you one of my favorite breakfast and lunch dishes, aloo paratha. A paratha is an Indian bread that is often eaten in combination with a curry. But did you know that you can also fill parathas? Today we are going to use aloo in Hindi, also called potato. This is, I think, one of the easiest fillings to start with and also very tasty. I'm gonna show you how to make it. We start by peeling the potatoes, around 350 gram. Then cut it into cubes and cook them until soft. When the potatoes are in the water and cooking, it's time to start with making the dough. You can place the flour in a mixing bowl around 400 grams, together with half a teaspoon salt and 4 teaspoons of sunflower oil. Knead it well with your hands, and when you squeeze it and it sticks together, you know it's good. Then you can slowly add water, around 175 milliliter. It is important that you continue to knead well until you have formed a soft ball. When I was in India, I saw Amit's mom and grandma doing this daily making Indian bread. I always thought it was a lot of work, but since I practiced a little bit, I became faster and faster at making the bread, and now it's really easy to do it. When the dough is done, you brush the dough with 1 teaspoon of sunflower oil and let it rest for at least 10 till 15 minutes under a tea towel. The dough we put aside, so now it's time to check the potatoes. I'm getting a fork and a spoon to check it. Yeah, I easily get through the potato, so it's time to use them. I just got the water out, and now it's important to mash the potato with a fork. So that's what I'm going to do. And this is also the reason why we want them to be soft, so we can mash them easily. So we mashed the potatoes. It's now time to add a few ingredients, not that many, just 4, but we have to cut it first. We start by cutting the green chili. You decide how much you want to add. We cut it small, and then we finely chop a handful of fresh coriander. Now it's time to add everything to the potato. We start with 1 teaspoon of cumin powder and 1 teaspoon of coriander powder. We mix it once, and then it's time to add the chopped green chili and coriander. We mix it once more, and I almost forgot it, but we also have to add a pinch of salt. So the filling is done. It's time to get the dough again, but only if the 15 minutes are over. It's really important to really give it some rest. I'm gonna take a look. And what I always do is get it out of the bowl and knead it one more time. And it's really important that it is soft. Now I can see it's really soft to use, so that's good. And one thing I learned when I was in India with the family of Amit is that before, when I was making a dough, I was always scared to make it too wet. So what did I do? I was making it too dry. Now I learned that it's really important to have it a little bit more wet before you put it away to rest. And now it's really perfect to use. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna cut it in 8 pieces because we can make 8 parathas out of this. For now, you just need 1 part of the dough, so the rest you can put away for a while. I kneaded a little bit to make it a round ball again, and then it's time to get my roller. It's important to roll it out just a little bit, so you have enough space to put the potato filling. My advice is always to not start directly with a lot of the potato filling. Just 2 teaspoons will be enough to start with. Later you can always use more. Now it's important to get all the ends together and close it really good to a ball again. We are doing this because you don't want that the filling is coming out. I make it a little bit flat on my cutting board and now it's time to roll it again. So this paratha is done, it's time to bake it. But if you maybe have some trouble with rolling it out, or maybe you have some potato that's coming out from the side, that's not an issue. Just use some extra dough to cover those holes and roll it again. But I'm gonna bake it, so this one, it's a little bit warm, so I'm gonna put it away. This we're gonna use later for the other parathas. But I'm now getting a pan to fry it. I'm putting it on. It's important that the pan is warm before you start baking the parathas. And use some plant-based butter. While it's baking, we have enough time to make another paratha. So I'm gonna take one more piece of the dough and I just keep going with the process till this one is done. It is important to keep an eye on it because of course we have to turn it once, but it gives us time to roll one more out. I'm getting the potato a little bit together so it's easier to close it. I'm getting all the corners together. And in the end, you just turn the dough around so you really know it's closing good. In the meantime, I'm gonna look at the paratha. I'm using something safely to check it. So I'm checking the bottom. It's golden brown. So I'm gonna use a little bit more butter on top. And I'm gonna turn it. I keep going on with finishing the other paratha. I'm gonna roll it out again. And one trick to make it more into a circle is to turn it every time you're rolling it out. Every time just turn it a little bit and roll it out again. This one is also done just in time because I think this paratha is done. I'm gonna check it again. It's done. So I'm getting a plate. And I'm gonna put it on this one. It really looks perfect. I'm directly gonna bake the other one. I'm gonna put a little bit plant-based butter again in there because there's already quite some butter in there. I'm gonna bake this one. And now I'm gonna finish all the other parathas that I have to make. And when I'm done, I'm coming back to you. Also, the last paratha is done. We made all of them, so it's time to taste. And in India, most of the time they're eating the paratha, the stuffed paratha, with a coriander chutney or with a tomato chutney. But you can also use a normal tomato ketchup. A little bit easier for now, I like that. So I'm going to taste. And we taste just to get a little bit of the paratha. We are dipping it in the tomato sauce. And we are just putting it in our mouth to try. I'm looking forward to eat the rest of the paratha because it's really tasty. I know now why I wanted to make this my first video. If you also like the parathas, just let us know in the comments. Give it a like if you like this video and don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you want to see more videos of me or Amit.